All right, Delaware County, here we are at one end of Walton. If you take a look around down the street here, I mean, you can obviously see what a shithole this place is. It's obvious. But you take a ride through Delhi, same county, and they got all the pretty street lights all up and down Main Street. You got all the cute little bars that all your people with money hang out at and laugh at all of us poor people. They all vomit when we walk by. It's just horrendous that they even have to lay eyes on us. But here they all are here in Walton. You know how many people here have no transportation and have no availability to even leave Walton whatsoever? And this county does nothing about it. So you end up homeless in Delhi. We were at the men's homeless shelter, and they either fuck with your life and stick you in Bloomville, take everything that you've managed to build in your life up until that point. They move you, they throw all your stuff away. They do, Diane, yes they do. We've seen it time and time again. And then they move you to Bloomville, so you have to walk 8 miles to get to Delhi because you have to keep these appointments, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. And then the ones that manage to find an apartment or whatever, they funnel them here to Walton. Exactly what I fucking told you. I told Diane that I had a place. I had 2 places in Delhi that I had heard about from the maid at the Buena Vista Hotel. And she tells me, oh no, you couldn't afford to live here in Delhi. What? No matter where I look, and then you tell me, no, not there. No, not there. No, not there. And you tell me, oh, we don't look for places for you to live. But now you've found a place, and I have to move there in 2 weeks, or I'm going to lose my kids. You know what I think's happening? Delaware County, I think people from Albany possibly are coming down, and they're taking over. You're losing control of this place. You've run amok. You've taken advantage of the control that you thought you had. I just heard about a family, the mom was told by social services, there's a process you have to go through, and it's going to be 2 years before you get your kids back. Although she's been doing everything she's supposed to, dotting all her I's, crossing all her T's, going to all these appointments, and then they tell her after all this at a case review, oh, now you have to have 2 more years. Do you know who's on her side in this? Do you know who told her, no, this is insane? Not even her own lawyer. The law guardian is telling her there's absolutely no reason why social services has your kids. There wasn't even any reason for them to take them to begin with. Social services, you're busted. I hope you all end up poor. I hope it's contagious. I hope everything that you have to pay back that you've ripped off from this county, all the taxes that you now have to make up on a personal level, not even what you've done with the county money. You know goddamn well, you little fucking pieces of shit, you're ripping out this county with the jobs that you have, and on a personal level, you're not ripping people off. I hope you all catch poverty. And I hope you go to jail. And I hope your families and your kids and your grandkids, I hope everybody's real proud of you for the job that you've done ripping off the residents of Delaware County, not just our poor people, not just the homeless, every single taxpayer. I would be so proud to be a Delaware County resident if I were you. I would be so proud. You guys are all disgusting. Oh, see that sign over there? Used to be Blue Seal Feeds. I have an uncle, Kenny Ellis. He used to work at Blue Seal Feeds. I don't know if he still does or not. In Bainbridge. Married to Debbie Sanford. Children, Dane Ellis, Tammy Ellis. So apparently this used to be a Blue Seal Feeds. Then it became a Brando's. Now it's closed. This big, huge building here in Walton just sitting there empty. You know what they could do with it? They could do something for the kids around here. Like a Boys and Girls Club maybe they have in Sydney. So you know, if you do this now, this was my fucking idea, assholes. I know you watch everything I do and everything I say. You know what I also told Michelle, the caseworker that I had to sit with yesterday while I made my phone calls to Albany, to human rights, to the governor. I told her that I think everyone that works over there, part of their training is they should have to call around and do role play and act as if they're a poor homeless person and see how they get treated. She certainly got a taste of it sitting there when I tried to call Otsego County, and apparently they're just as bad as Delaware. Fucking douchebag tells me, oh, there's no HUD. Treating me like I'm stupid. How dare I ask, because you know I'm poor and homeless. I couldn't possibly know anything. He can just get away with treating me like shit and hanging up on me. He didn't get a chance to hang up on me. He did actually transfer my phone call to somebody that knew something more than he does. I think his name was Corey. Transferred me to a Cat. Cat transferred me to a Kimberly. Kimberly says, well, I'm going to have to call Delaware County. None of this makes any sense to me at all. Well, you know what, lady? It don't make sense to me either. I'm living this shit. Tell me about that it doesn't make sense. Here we are down by the river. This all looks much better than it used to. This is an improvement. See, they planted some trees. Is this more green space? Got the other green space over down by the river. Ed Snow, good job. Take control of this goddamn shit-ass town. Tell these goddamn fucking Republicans around here to kiss your fucking ass and do what's right. Look at what you're doing. Thank you, Ed Snow. To every goddamn motherfucker that keeps giving this poor guy a hard time, fuck you. Oh, there's no mattress, but we see all the disgusting bullshit right here. I wonder if that's pollution at all. Nice. Beautiful. Gorgeous. The disgusting river. DC, what the fuck are you doing around here? Department of Conservation? What the fuck have you been doing? Ed Snow, I'll vote for you every time. And I will do anything in my power to make sure you win. What does that mean? What does that mean to me? Not what does it mean to you, you stupid fucks. You can make up any bullshit you want. It ain't gonna work. Because I haven't done anything. You tried to pin drugs on me. You tried to pin terrorism on me. You tried to pin racial slurs on... What else? What else was it? Was that UHS that turned me in for all that shit? Was that you? Because I went in there dressed like a clown? Because you won't take me serious when I tell you I want this investigated? The lead, the mold. You won't even fix what my kids are allergic to. You won't fix the goddamn addresses. I still get bills in the mail, although I have Medicaid. I have insurance. You assholing pieces of shit. You hillbilly bumpkin retards can't, and furthermore refuse, to use the computers. You're dumb. Learn to use the computers. Enter in people's information properly to begin with. You know how many problems could be solved concerning insurance, housing, Financial matters. Do you know how many problems could just be solved instantly by people just doing their jobs? If you don't want to do your job, leave. Get the fuck out. Walton, level the fuck up. This is a reflection of New York State right here. It is not New York City, America, world. This right here, this is New York State. This. Not that tiny little piece that's hanging off. Hanging off America down there like a fucking dingleberry. No, this. Do you know how much of upstate New York takes up New York? New York City is minimal. This is New York. This is the real world for us. This bullshit. Where you can do whatever you want, break whatever rules, and you can get away with it. Isn't that why people like living in the country? Because there's no rules. Well, that's great when you're the one making the rules, but when you have to suffer and they're told you things like, trust the process. You have 2 more years before you can get your kid back. We have funding to get. We need these kids in foster care. Everybody's moving out of New York State. What are we going to do now? We better find new families to pick on. I could walk around this town right now and show you every motherfucking house that I know of that those kids should be taken immediately. And I can walk around here and I can show you the families that social services keeps fucking with and they have absolutely no reason to. You're a bunch of scumbags, social services. Fucking video gonna get flagged? YouTube, Facebook, because I happened to walk by a goddamn car with their music playing? Fuck you too. So up here is where they put in some new sidewalk. And like many kids all over America, my kids went over and put their little handprints in it, trying to leave their little mark on Walton, like lots of kids do. But I'll tell you, somebody seen us and they came right in a couple hours later and smoothed that right back over. God forbid the Sanford boys should have a mark in Walton, other than what? Because they're poor? Come on. So this is some Walton thing they got going on. Some porch singing bullshit. I don't fucking know. Apparently I was told by some of the people around Walton that this is like a yearly thing. But then I've talked to other people. You've never done this before? Are you kidding? Who are you trying to fool? There's no Walton pride. Get over it. This is what you're proud of? Where this fucking mattress was in the river? You guys are so disgusting. Can't believe all the shit you gave me. All the fucking shit you gave me. American Idol. I think you failed, little girl. Next.
Big one, my dad won 1,000, but he only went to
Simon Cowell says no. Keep practicing. You might make something of yourself someday with that shit. You could. I mean, anybody around here could be better. But you won't. You're just gonna keep attacking me, pretending you didn't hit me with your car. You motherfuckers all know exactly who I am. I'm the little girl that got hit by a car on Beale Boulevard in Sydney, New York, in 1981. Some of you assholes still work there. You know exactly who Ruth M. Drum is. You know what? At any time, any one of you could have just done the right thing. At any time, any one of you could have just done the right thing. This whole community could have rallied together for the little girl that got hit by a car by social services. You could have made sure that we had housing. You could have made sure that we had any kind of educational support for my kids. You could have made sure that I had medical support. Actually, all this stuff is supposed to be afforded for everyone around here because you get fundings to supply this stuff. But you choose not to. I don't know what the fuck you're doing with your money, because it sure as fuck is not taking care of people. So again, Delaware County, how did I get myself into this situation? I stood on the side of the road and allowed you to hit me with a car. Guess what else I heard? A Delaware County employee in one of their cute little Delaware County cars right here in Walton hit somebody with their car, I don't know, just like a month or two ago. Does the general public hear about that? They just did it again. They just did it again. You're lucky those two teenage girls that stole that Delaware Opportunities vehicle, cruising around with it a year and a half ago on North Street with the dog in the fucking car. You're lucky they didn't hit somebody. I called and reported it. You know what everyone told me? Every person I talked to? That's not happening. That couldn't be possible. While I'm reporting it and I'm looking at them with my own eyes, they're telling me I'm wrong and it's not happening. As my four sons and I sat there watching it, wondering, why can't we get a ride? But they can steal the company vehicle. Why? Where was it where they even had access to it, parent? What is your job, Delaware Opportunities employee? Albany, you better get your fucking ass down here and you better do it goddamn quick. These people need mental health. They are fucking insane. They are walking all over everyone. In America, if this is what you think is okay to be an American, this is government, you're a pile of shit too. I'd like to believe that this is just, this little tiny area is what I would like to believe. I really want to have pride in my country. I have my whole life until now that I keep begging for help. And it's just an echo chamber to this town who decided it was a better idea to attack me and my sons, to the school here who thinks it's okay to bully everyone, including the teachers bullying students, the agencies that are meant to help people and they do nothing. Their children steal the cars, cruise around with them with small dogs trying to jump out the fucking driver's side window. Right on North Street in here in Walton, a year and a half ago this happened. And you know it's still happening because they keep lying and denying it happened to begin with. This is what you pay for, taxpayers. This is the gas money. This is the excuse that they use. They can't get transportation. Right. They can't even begin to move forward or doing anything better with it because of gas money. That's their well, they've been using that excuse since I worked at Delaware Opportunities way back in the early 2000s. So if anybody wants to pretend this has anything to do with COVID, no, it's not. I think all COVID did to this county, to your school, from my point of view, all I can do is talk from my personal experience. I don't know what parents have went through in Sydney school, Andy school, Franklin school. I don't know. What I do know is what me and my kids have gone through here. That's what I know for a fact. So now I get a letter, which I will be putting on YouTube. I get a letter from the school, Mr. McDonald, that fat fuck. Now I am not allowed to homeschool my kids anymore because social services won't supply him with a timeline. Because there's no provision in New York State for homelessness, which I find hard to believe. There's supposed to be this whole thing for families that are homeless so they can still continue to have their kids in school, especially if you choose to homeschool. Now, I've told this piece of shit several times, which he still continues to pick on me because I use the word, oh my God. You're such a joke, dude. You're such a joke. I told you I can't quantify what you want me to on your charts because I tried to tell you I homeschool all year long. I don't do it like New York State. I do it like they do in other states because I think that's what works. I don't think kids should get summers off. I told you that. I don't homeschool confined to 4 quarters. Especially since we're fucking homeless. But I sat there with your stupid fucking social worker. Your stupid fucking social worker in the room that didn't speak up and say a goddamn word. Reminds me of another Moxley. Just observing. Just observing so she can run back and tell everybody how out of control I am. As he browbeat me and talked down to me like I was one of his students. But that's how men treat women around here, and they get away with it. Yeah, I think, as I told Michelle, the caseworker I sat in with yesterday as I used the phone, because you're not allowed to use the phone in private at social services, they have it set up. So there has to be a code punched in the phone to use the phone. So the code requires someone to sit in the room with you, obviously, so you can make phone calls. There's no privacy. Danielle Tracy stole my notebook. She stole my lunch. She did not make her home visits. She did not go back and ask questions that I kept asking. Okay, I'm supposed to do this. Well, what about this? She doesn't know a fucking thing because she's in training, they say. Well, how long has she been in training now? 10 fucking years? How long does that take? How long does it take to train a social services retard? Is there any kind of clear answers for this? Shouldn't there be a time limit? Shouldn't there be a point? There should be like a test or something that, okay, you have attained this skill, you've attained this level of dealing with the public. You're in social services. And you know what I find interesting? I just find it so amusing because they think they're going to break me down and work me over. I keep being told I have to learn to work with everyone. I don't have a problem working with anybody. I talked to and worked with several people. How I got to the bottom of this HUD shit finally. It was a whole lot different when I worked for Delaware Opportunities, working 3 jobs. I worked at Delaware Opportunities as the family head service worker. I worked at Rainbow Daycare in the afternoon, where I took my children and babysat them and their friends and got paid for it. And I also worked at the Sydney Hospital in the skilled nursing unit. All at the same time, taking care of 3 children, all by myself, getting no child support because their father didn't think they should have to pay it, and neither did Delaware County. With the help of his dirty, rotten, disgusting wife. She stuck up for every goddamn move he made. Delaware County, you're trash. Shenango County, I'm coming for you. You're next. All-American Fireworks. There better be criminal charges out of this. You know what you got my kids into, John? I worked 3 jobs. You told my kids I did nothing. They believed you, although they lived with me and I worked 3 jobs. And on top of it, I took college classes. Early childhood development, family development, CNA, phlebotomy, not to mention all the things that I did on my own that you don't get degrees or certifications for. All by myself, John. All by myself. Jennifer. You're disgusting. You're a failure as a mother. You're a failure as a grandfather. Excuse me, I should say grandfather. Remember when you told my son that your son was more of a man than him? And how he was more of a son to my son's dad than he was, even though he's just the stepdad, just because you say so? And my son Nathan said to you, why? Because he has more facial hair? It's too bad he's not as much of a man as you are yet. I'm just talking about the facial hair, Vincent. Your mother's disgusting, and you know it. You've been to my house when your father and mother were ganging up on you at your home again, and Nathan brought you to my house to hide you from them. You know what would be really awesome? If one of you little motherfuckers would speak up and start telling the truth. That'd be great. Alright, so here around Walton, they don't like me. Because it's like Footloose. They don't like my music. And I have asked several people. This is not something that happens every year. This music bullshit is brand new. Trust me. Everyone around Walton would know if this fucking bullshit's been going on every year. Are you kidding me? Why can't we have some rap? Why can't we have some hard rock? Maria Brink, where are you when we need you? Do you hear this shit? Okay, if this is what you like, great. Good for fucking you. This shit is ridiculous. Let's keep moving.
Your schmads right there.
Alright, I must admit, they look pretty snazzy. They're pretty good with those instruments. Not my kind of music. But I'm not going to be complete douches like you, Walton. Because it's not my taste. Not something that I would listen to. They're not half bad. Why Why the fuck do we keep going by people with like 8, 9, 10-year-olds in strollers? Is this what is wrong with America today? Kids don't even have to walk anymore. Way to go, Walton. Here's the school where my children were abused. Bullying is abuse, you know that, right? My son, Joseph, would be beaten by the other kids out front. And I would walk up from that way. That down there is Meade Street. I would walk up to pick up my kids from school and be screaming from over there on the corner, "Hey, get your hands off him." And then I would go in and tell the office ladies, Mrs. Wood and Mrs. Aubin, be prepared for some phone calls because I just bitched out a bunch of your kids up front because they're abusing Joseph again. Now, when Joseph was little, I requested for him to be, when he started kindergarten, to sit here in the office with Mrs. Aubin and Mrs. Wood until my daughter Ashley could walk over from the high school to pick him up, because I was at home with 3 toddlers with my own health issues and things going on. So my daughter Ashley would come over and pick him up, and the office ladies allowed Joseph to sit in the office. Now, how many kids get that privilege? You know why? Because they knew he was being abused. This is abuse. This is beyond bullying. Your children, Walton, abused my son. And again, this is the elementary school. The high schools when things got worse. And we tolerated it through middle school until the whole gay shit started. That crap. You know what, Walton? You're lucky he's not gay. Do you know the damage that causes a kid? When one of my older kids' friends came to me and asked me, should I come out? Should I just go to school and tell? Do you know what I told him? No, don't. They already have 1,000,002 reasons that they pick on you already. Don't make it worse. These dirtbags around here, they will kick your ass and you know it. Don't tell. But that brave young man, he went to school and he told anyway. He didn't listen to me. And I hope he made a difference in that school. He is an exceptional young man, and he always has been since the day I met him. And I'm very upset that he's gay. Very upset. And he knows it. The day I found out, I said, why? You know why? Because I wished him and my daughter Ashley got together. He would have been good for her.
No, you throw it up there.
He was a good friend for her. Until he got wrapped up in the bullshit too around here. You know what, TJ? All the shit you told my daughter Brittany to do to my daughter Ashley, to fucking hurt her and rip her life to shreds even more, because you're telling my daughter Brittany how she needs to get out of Walton, how she needs to do what you did. She needs to live life like you did and take control and leave all the riffraff behind, which is pretty funny, you fat ass cunt. I think you got fired. Pretty funny that you told her to do all that, because you got really far in your goddamn trailer out back of either your parents' home or your husband's parents. You helped destroy my family. You had kids at your house fucking drinking, throwing beer parties. You hung out with the kids like you were another teenager. You were not a teacher. You were not someone that was a model for what children should be. You were partying with them, and you told my daughter Brittany to stomp all over her sister Ashley. TJ, Tina, yeah, you did. You called me and tried to get me on your